Hi, folks. Welcome back to Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we're back with more WandaVision.
Yay!
We're running behind a little bit this week because you had a crazy schedule.
I did.
And I'm just crazy. So crazy schedule plus crazy husband means we're getting to WandaVision a little bit late.
Crazy squared.
Yeah. So we are going to jump in. I know this episode is called All New Halloween Spooktacular. We do know that we've seen
From the trailers
and the clips, images of Wanda and Vision in very comic book centric costumes.
Yeah, the little screenshot we have here is Vision in his little yellow boxers, which is hilarious.
But first, let's talk about how last episode ended.
Oh my goodness.
On a very special episode.
So their dog died.
What? Oh yes, that happened. Sparky.
I know. Let me pick the least jaw dropping thing that happened.
Sure.
Yeah. So last week, we had a very uncomfortable conversation with lots of angry words being tossed around between Wanda and Vision. We saw Wanda try to end a conversation by rolling credits, which was hilarious.
Yes. And Vision said, "Nay."
Nay. We also heard Wanda say, "I don't know how this started." Yeah. So everyone's thoughts that Wanda is like the big bad behind everything. It's true that she's not, but she's definitely making it happen. So I'm really interested to see what happens, like how this came about. And I'm really hoping now we are on episode 6. There are 9 episodes of this. So we only have 4 more to go. So it'll be really,
Only 3 after we finish this one.
Right. It'll be really tight storytelling to find out how this all started and what it means for the entire MCU.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that the head of S.W.O.R.D. is up to no good. I guess we'll find out more this episode.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't think he was necessarily up to no good. I think he knew more than he was letting on. So we found that out. And that's okay.
It could be. We could find out that he's up to no good.
Maybe.
I think that's kind of lazy just because we've had people in S.H.I.E.L.D. go bad and that kind of thing. So I don't know. But also, it's the state of the world right now that people call people villains without them actually having done anything on this. So, it may be that he's getting a bad rap. I guess we'll wait and see. In my opinion, right or wrong, if someone is holding 3,000 people inside of a town, no matter how many great things they may have done, that's still worth the missile to me. If I can take them out and free 3,000 people, I'd do it.
But it's hilarious to think that he thought that might work.
Yeah, he should have understood the powers at play there, and that was probably a faulty plan. Yeah. But I can't argue with the notion of good people don't do what she's doing. That's an understandable observation. So, but
whether she is...
The question is why? Why is she doing it?
Right, and that's the thing is, like, I... Obviously, these are her powers at play here, but she didn't start this, and I think whoever is making her do this is giving her this little idyllic family life to make her keep it going.
Now, at the same time, I understand the bureaucratic side saying she's got 3,000 people in there. That makes her not a good guy. I also understand the people who have had connections to superheroes, Darcy and Monica and Jimmy Woo, having a different perspective of, let's see if we can talk to her. Let's see if we can negotiate with her. Let's see if we can reach her and figure out what's hurting, what's causing, and talk her down
or
as a viable option. I totally understand that.
Yeah,
right. I totally understand that. But, not everybody would have the opportunity to know those sorts of details or have that sort of understanding. Sometimes you got to make hard calls. But I guess we'll find out. I mean, if he is, on the wrong side of things, I'm certainly willing to own that I, thought incorrectly. But it just seems kind of lazy writing to me to make him the bad guy after we've seen that kind of thing happen in S.H.I.E.L.D. So I guess we'll see. Like Heidi said, there's only 3 more episodes after this one. So... We're going to be learning a lot soon.
It's going to have to be tight. It's going to have to be good. And I'm very excited to see what's happening.
I was not spoiled on this episode, but I did hear that the commercial was very interesting. So I'm going to be looking for that.
Well, the commercials have always been interesting.
Of course.
So I'm not going to discount the commercial for sure.
And the only spoiler that I did get came in the form of a brief image of the special guest star that came on board last episode. my comic book brain wants to say last episode.
Yeah.
We did get Uncle Jesse there at the end.
We did. I was really, so, we've talked about this before. We actually, we love watching other people reacting to these as well. So it's interesting to see who has seen all of the MCU and who hasn't. They're like everyone.
Well, who's seen the MCU, but also who has or hasn't seen the Fox X-Men stuff. Like, if all you've seen is the MCU, you wouldn't know who that guy was.
Right. So we got a wide range of reactions, like, who's this guy, to which is, for people who are completely unspoiled. Now, I think we knew that this actor was going to be on board this series, but we just
As something.
We didn't know how and when he was going to appear.
And we still don't really know what the truth is.
Yeah,
we just got that last shot of him last episode. So hopefully we'll find out more about the recasting of Pietro and what that means in this episode. But I did see a spoilery image of Evan Peters as Pietro on Halloween night. So that's all I'll say about that. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
This is Malcolm in the Middle, right? Very close to Billy's actual costume.
Halloween's about candy. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're secretly afraid he's a vampire. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not.
Somebody better be bleeding, broken, or on fire.
Whoa, Mom. Are you old Red Riding Hood?
I'm a Sokovian fortune teller.
Oh.
Wow. That is so
Rad.
lame.
That's not exactly how I remember it.
You probably suppressed a lot of the trauma.
Mom's been weird since Uncle Pietro got here. I think it's because she hasn't seen him in a long time. And he's what you call a man-child.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa. Sweet costume, bro, ham-in-law.
You are incorrigible, darling. I know you have a secret thing for Mexican wrestlers.
Me gusta mucho.
Is that what he's supposed to be?
I guess.
Halloween is a bacchanal for adolescent troublemakers, and the neighborhood watch is the only thing that stands between the trees and the toilet.
Ah, call back to the neighborhood watch.
Be good.
Huh.
I smell crime.
You don't even have a costume. Okay, but
Really?
just remember that this is a respectable family. If I see any funny business, I am going to magic you into a pickled herring.
Hey, there he is. The guy who almost got murdered by his own murder squad.
We actually have no idea what will happen in there or out here if Wanda dies.
So what? We just surrender to that? Yes, I know your history with Carol Danvers. And all you people who left still have the luxury of optimism. You have no idea what it was like. What it took to keep the lights on. Get her off my base. Now.
Oh, I wish she had the power to zap him right now. Ah, yeah. Do it.
Me?
I'm Darcy saying. She's not a fighter. It's okay.
Remember when we were at the orphanage after Mom and Dad died? What was the name of that kid who was always trying to steal your boots? You know, he was the one, he had the skin thing.
You're testing me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not.
Hey, it's cool. I know I look different.
Why do you look different?
You tell me. I mean, if I had found Shangri-La, I wouldn't want to be reminded of the past either. How about you let Uncle P help you maximize your candy acquisition, huh?
Yeah, kick ass.
Or max them off your candy acquisition.
Sorry, Wanda, I gotta bounce.
Well, maybe Vision can help you out.
Vision? He's not on duty.
No, I thought he...
Is there something I can do for you, Wanda? Do you want something changed?
No.
Do you want something
It's fine.
changed?
Never mind.
Huh.
The NPCs are misbehaving again.
Yeah, they are.
Hungry. I remember hungry. I used to be like that all the time.
What did you do?
Snacked on yo magic, bro.
Huh.
for survivors.
What?
Huh.
Next stop, Cavity Town.
Right on, little dude. Chip off the old Maximum block. You got super speed.
I do?
Yeah. Remember,
Don't go past Ellis Avenue. We know,
Huh.
we know.
What's Ellis Avenue?
Is this Wanda right here?
No. The program is tracking the decay signature of vibranium.
Vision. Wait, why is Hayward tracking Vision?
I don't know. This is all I can access so far.
These other dots, those are Westview residents?
The ones in Vision's immediate vicinity, yeah.
So Hayward must have an accurate head count by now.
Mm.
And some sense of their well-being.
These people near the edge of town, they're barely moving.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Agnes?
Oh.
What are you doing here?
It's interesting because his colors,
Square scare. Where is it?
his colors do look bleached out compared to how they look in the movies usually.
I expect. It's all right.
You're one of the Avengers.
Oh.
Vision.
Okay.
Are you here to help us?
I am Vision. I do want to help. But what's an Avenger?
Oh no, because he doesn't remember.
Why don't you know? Am I dead?
No, no. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Oh,
Because I'm not.
Dead.
you died.
Dead. 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 No one leaves. Wanda won't even let us think about it. All is lost.
Agnes. Agnes, please, calm down.
No.
Agnes.
What?
You've gone through the boundary twice already, Monica. The energy inside has rewritten your cells on a molecular level twice. It's changing you.
Where were you hiding all these kids up till now?
What?
I assume they were all just sleeping peacefully in their beds. No need to traumatize beyond the occasional holiday episode cameo, am I right? How'd you even do all this? Hey, I'm not some stranger. And I'm not your husband. You can talk to me.
So who are you then?
Pietro.
I don't know how I did it.
Oh, well,
And my question is, if he goes outside that field, is he just dead?
we'll find out. Come on.
Oh, it's like still pulling at him.
He really does
Yeah.
want out, doesn't he?
Come on, Vision. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Why aren't you helping him? Stop! He's coming apart! Mom! What are you doing? Help him!
Oh my gosh, this is so hard.
I don't understand what's happening to me.
Where is he? Where's your dad?
Hey, don't sweat it, sis. It's not like your dead husband could die twice.
Whoa.
They think he's dying.
Whoa.
Jimmy, do you see that? Something's happening.
It's moving. Go, 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 go.
Oh no.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Or Darcy.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh, so a carnival came to town.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Come in, anyone read me? Anyone hear my voice?
Nope. Wow. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Dang it. All right, that is it for this episode of WandaVision. As always, I'm going to scroll ahead just to make sure I don't see anything else. Goodness gracious. Okay, Heidi, you start.
Wow. I think I say wow at the end of every episode, honestly, because it's just like we learn some things and then we like everything's a big old question. I feel it's really interesting that Pietro is talking so frankly to Wanda about what is happening in the town. And yeah, you know, everybody we've watched reacting to this has said, where are the actual children in this town? Which Vision echoed in the last episode. And then suddenly there they all are for, you know, effect, because you can't have a Halloween episode with just two kids bouncing around. So it's really interesting about with him talking to her about that.
I think it's weird that he's poking at her though in a very roundabout way. There's a lot of manipulation, it feels like to me, in his approach to that conversation. He wants something. He wants her to admit something. He wants her to say something. He wants her to explain something. So I'm not sure what I think about him yet. Like, yes, he remembers dying as the other Pietro, but, you know, anybody that read anything about Sokovia would know how that went down. So
yeah,
I question whether that's actually a Pietro or whether it could be something or someone else.
Yeah, it's definitely questionable who that may be. I mean, anybody who's read the reports from Sokovia knows that her brother died in the midst of everything. So.
And one would assume, given the presence of the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. or remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D. there, that there would be at least some sort of report as to how it happened.
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. I think it was a really interesting line and reaction. It's not like your dead husband can die twice and then she just like shot him. Whoa. Like, but the thing is, like, if this is her actual brother, like, it's just too weird, because it didn't seem like they had that kind of relationship. It's not like the relationship that they had.
Right.
And so it's interesting that she's trying
and he does seem more like the Pietro from the Fox universe as far as his attitude.
Right.
But in that, you know, if we go over to the Fox universe for a little bit, that Pietro we saw with a younger sister, not a twin, a younger sister, and we never heard her name, I don't believe. So if he can't be from a completely parallel kind of place,
right,
where he just looks different, because he didn't have a twin, at least in the Fox universe. So yeah, I don't know how this jives yet.
Yeah, interesting that he also sidestepped her question about the kid in the orphanage. So he but he remembered his mother making them costumes for Halloween. I didn't know Sokovia celebrated Halloween, you know. Anyway,
it's funny that he looked like a young Nick Fury a little bit there.
It was a little funny there. But yeah, so it was interesting that they were both trying to jog each other's memories also. So that was kind of a weird thing. So I will lean more on the side of, this is Pietro from another universe. And, you know, he's just there, and even though it's not his younger sister, I mean, maybe of the twins, he was the older one, so she's still his younger sister. So he's treating her as such, and, you know, because she has nobody else to talk to or be around, he's the one that she's talking to.
Maybe. I still am going to hold off on my belief that he is Pietro of any universe until we know more. I'm suspicious of him until we know a little bit more, I think.
Okay.
So And I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people that's still necessarily looking for Mephisto to pop up. However, that commercial.
Whoa! Oh yeah, that commercial was just like so. Okay, first of all, it was so 90s. It wasn't even funny. Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting though that we didn't see our normal 2 players for that commercial for those commercials. And then like. How hard is it to open a yogurt? Like, it's hard for me because I can't stand yogurt. So it's like, oh, I'm going to have to eat this, aren't I? But, like, it shouldn't
But here's the thing. Like, the yogurt was the promise, right?
Yeah.
The yogurt was the promise, but I can't get it open. I can't get to the promise, and I keep trying while you slowly suck me dry. Well, like, literally, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm starving to death while I'm focused on the promise of this yogurt cup.
Yeah.
Yo Magic.
Yeah.
Right.
But Yo Magic, it's like, oh, like, maybe it's, you're right. It's probably like somebody draining her magic.
Right. So we're giving
magic,
you this,
her powers.
We're giving you this opportunity to create a world in which you can be happy. You can have your brother, you can have kids, you can have your husband, you can have whatever you want, but it's like everything keeps going wrong, which requires her to apply more magic, which if something's feeding on magic, then the more she does, the more it feeds.
Yeah.
One would think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
and it was
really
a shark,
curious.
because we
Sure.
anybody that we find distasteful who's preying on others, we call them sharks.
Sure.
So yeah,
sure. Predatory.
And very interesting.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that. I'm also very curious about how, with Agnes, it's easy to be suspicious of Agnes, and I don't think it's wrong to be suspicious of Agnes, but then she seems genuinely terrified sometimes. But then she went from terrified to that laugh before he put her back in character.
Yeah, I'm willing to believe that she's lost her mind inside there.
Okay.
I'm willing to believe that, but I'm also willing to believe that maybe there's more to it, and yeah, she's probably part of it too. So I can almost see that, but like she lost her mind and she's already part of the.
It's interesting. Herb saying, "Do you want me to change something?" Like, what about this scenario is not working for you? What do I need to do now? Kind of a thing. Like, we keep getting those reminders that they're aware that they're playing a part in what do they need to do about it. We got that last week from the mailman.
Yeah.
Your mother won't let him get far.
Yeah.
We got it the week before that from the doctor about, it's hard to find time to escape.
Yeah.
We've gotten these things throughout the series, so it'll be interesting to see, what becomes of Darcy inside.
Oh, yeah. She gets to star in her favorite show.
And I feel like because of Darcy and who she is, I feel like she may have a way outside of character that other people won't have.
Yeah.
I think she thinks differently about things, and that may be helpful to her inside there. Or Vision may just remember that she was trying to help him before that happened, and he may be able to do something for her.
Or she might be, the homewrecker next door, for all we know. So we don't know how she's going to be cast.
I am very curious though about who Monica was going to meet. Dang it, we did not find out yet. Frustrating. And I'm also curious as to, we saw in one of the promos some sort of vehicle trying to breach that field. So, and that seemed to be what she was planning on last week. So I'm curious as to how that's going to go and what that's going to accomplish. We've got 3 episodes left.
Oof, so much.
Now, predictions, Heidi. Will we end this series with Wanda as a quote-unquote villain, regardless of whether we understand where she's coming from or whether she was manipulated or not? Is she going to be a villain going into Doctor Strange 2? Or will she deal with this situation and whatever the big bad really is, which sets her up to be the expert or the helper for Doctor Strange when he faces something related to that evil in his movie? These are probably not the only 2 options.
Probably not the only 2 options, but I'm going to go for option C.
Which is?
We'll
wait and see.
No, I think we're going to find out that she was manipulated. And I think that getting her, it's going to lead right into that. So we're going to either get her fixed and she's going to be helping him, in that movie. So we're going to see it happen there. So she's going to come out of this being villainous, or the one who's being manipulated, and she's going to be like the little bad in the beginning of Doctor Strange, and then when she breaks free, or they free her, or she becomes, she
Okay.
yeah, and then she'll be the big person to stand with him against the biggest bad.
Okay.
That's what I think is
I
going to
can
happen.
see it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are hoping that this Pietro is the Pietro from the Fox X-Men universe. I get that desire, especially given that it feels like Marvel is pulling for the multiverse thing, given the title for Doctor Strange, given even
the whole the Spider-Man.
Some of the casting stuff for Spider-Man, but also even Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Like we know that those are different dimensional things. So there's a lot. So clearly the multiverse is something that they're looking at, but I don't think that necessarily means that that's what's happening here. It could be the beginning of that happening, but I don't know. Something about Peter creeped me out in this episode. I just didn't buy him as good. So I hope I'm wrong about that. Well, no, I don't hope I'm wrong about it. I want whatever gives me the best television.
He might be an agent. I think that's what it is. I think he really is that person. Just hearing him talk about how he was not there and then suddenly there again, I feel like he is being used by whatever, but it might actually be him.
Okay. Well, I guess we will find out. Probably not next week, though. My guess is we're not going to get a whole lot of answers until the end of this thing.
8, 9.
And I really hope that it'll get, I hope that when this series lands, and here's, this is always the problem with these shows, is that when you've got a show that's banging on all cylinders and really doing a great job of posing questions and answering questions as the series goes and building mystery and drama and whatever, you either land this thing well or it, hits like a lemming and it's all over. So I don't think that the MCU has had any, you can say what you want to about a Thor 2 Dark World. You can say what you want to about some of the weaker installments, but I don't think there have been any lemmings in the bunch. I feel like, as long as this thing ends solidly, it's going to answer a lot of questions. Now, whether it leads directly into Doctor Strange or it sets Wanda up as the person who can help Doctor Strange or be a part of whatever is happening over there remains to be seen. But I just hope that they end this thing with where the show itself is its own thing, where it's not just like, this was a 9-episode prelude to Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
I hope that it's this is Wanda and Vision's story, and directly after this, here's Doctor Strange 2. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
We'll find out. I mean, we've trusted them so far to have so much interconnection that makes sense. There really hasn't been anything that they've put forth as just like, nah, we don't need that.
Right.
Everything has had its portion that belongs where it does. So I think this is just the new Lego piece that goes in there.
We did get to see both Wiccan and Speed use their powers in this episode. So it'll be interesting to see where that lands as well.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that if at the end of this series that Billy and Tommy cease to be somehow, that could be a problem. That could create certainly a more broken, more messed up Wanda.
She's had them given and taken away so many times in the comics.
Right.
So,
and
it wouldn't be unheard of for that to be the case. I hope not.
But I'm not sure that having them for this short amount of time and then yanking them away would justify that kind of thing. It just kind of depends. But for someone who's been as traumatized and been through as much as she has in a short amount of time, I guess, I can bend to believe that, I guess, if I need to, if that's the way they're going with this thing. But
we'll see.
As always, I have to say the performances across the board are great. That we get, between Monica and Jimmy and Darcy, we get enough humor and enough of what feels like, old school MCU camaraderie that feels like familiar territory.
Yeah,
mixed
like
in,
Shield.
Mixed in with, the weirdness of sitcom world. And then tremendous, I think, performances from Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany in their characters, and just, their chemistry together. I found myself at the beginning of this episode when they were not getting along, when they were not communicating well, and that tension was between them. That bothers me because I like them so much together, and I don't want that as fans of that couple and those characters. They play it so well that it seems natural. It's not overdone. It's not, it's not overbaked. It's not, it's just a very natural. Couples are having a hard day. All couples do. People are messy. We say this all the time. So, I feel like they played that so well. I bought it and it made me feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And then, as the panic kind of set in that something was happening to Dad after he got outside that field, which that was creepy looking.
Oh my gosh. That was even worse than watching him die with Thanos.
I don't know. I still
was pretty bad
when I see that.
That was pretty bad. But that was really like so protracted. It was like, I can't believe he's literally getting torn apart.
And and that goes to Peter's line too about dying twice or not being able to die twice. Well, he already has. This would be the third time, right?
Yeah, this is true. He has.
So.
I do like that they, Darcy threw that out there to Monica that, hey, your DNA is being rewritten by this energy field, and we know that this energy field was created by Wanda, who's using...
It looks a little like a photon, something in a different spectrum.
Yeah, but using magic, using her powers, which were imbued by an Infinity Stone. So this is just... her getting more and more like Infinity Stoned. Sorry.
Whoa, man.
But yeah, that we know that Captain Marvel's powers came from an Infinity Stone as well. So it wouldn't be outside of the question to have that happen with her going in and out of that field several times.
Now, Director Haywood, what's his name? Hayward. Director Hayward, again, in keeping with the trying to understand where his character's coming from, in spite of the fact that he may actually be up to no good, but trying to figure out where he's coming from, that the whole thing about, all the people that blinked away, they didn't really miss anything.
Yeah.
But everybody else had to deal with 5 years of not knowing what happened.
Yeah.
Feeling like they had lost people that they cared about. The world not being able to operate the way that it had before.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. And so
while
he may
people.
In fact be up to no good, I would think that it would change people's perspective. There were people, not to get, I never want to be, political, but just historically, there were people that would never have joined the military that after 9/11 signed up.
Yeah.
There are things that change your perspective. There are drastic things that happen in the world that can change your perspective, right or wrong. And I can imagine that half the population of the planet disappearing overnight and spending 5 years of the world being in turmoil. I mean, think about how upside down the world is right now because of a pandemic and how much we all long for everything to be back to normal. There will be lasting effects from all of this, right?
Yeah.
And not even just talking about, sadly, the deaths and the physical difficulties that people have had recovering from it. Just in general, the world has changed because of it. So you can imagine that something like the snap and the blip would totally upend everything that you thought you knew and how the world worked and everything else. So you might take things with a different tone than you would have 5 years previously. Maybe 5 years before that, he was all like, go Captain Marvel, go Shield, go whatever. But now everything seems a little bit darker and scarier, and maybe I need to know what these people are up to. So
I do want to know what that thing that, Darcy, that big thing he was hiding. I want to know what that was. So that makes me lean towards just a little bit more of him being up to no good. But again, I was like, he seen people thought he was just all bad. And I'm like, no, he just knows more. And so this might be more of the same. There might be something else that's going on.
I guess we'll see.
That, maybe tangentially part of this whole concept of, Westview and Vision and Wanda and all of that. And that because it's tangential, it's there in his files, but it's not necessarily something that, everyone needs to know just now.
Now, we forgot to say it at the top of our reaction, but if you'd like to see the full reaction to this episode of WandaVision with us, you can find that on Patreon. That link is always in the description down below. We've got some T-shirts and such like that. I can't talk. I'm tired, folks. Anyway, those links are always down there as well, including our new Swiss Cheese Brain T-shirt. You can check that out. And that's pretty much it. We'll definitely be back with the next episode of WandaVision. Make sure that you are supporting the show in the way it's meant to be seen. Watch it on Disney Plus. Always before you come check out our reactions. We do appreciate you being here.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us.
If you like this content and you want to see us continue doing this sort of thing, hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And that's it. We'll be back next week.
All right.
Until then.
Bye.
Bye.